Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Daniel Richardson, and yeah, I was the writer and director, star, editor. I was the guy who pretty much put this thing together, and yeah, I'm just here to give a little brief audio commentary on this little 6-minute short. What you're looking at right now is Spring Mill Park here in southern Indiana, which when my close friends watch this, they're like, wow, you're just doing a lot of glory shots of the park, but my argument will be no one's from southern Indiana, so they won't know jack about this. So I guess the basic idea behind this was when we did the public domain dungeon, each short was going to have to reflect the theme of the movie. But with the first volume, we had 13 short silent films. And so it was, what do I do? Do I do a silent movie? Do I, do I take one of the, themes from one of the shorts and do it? And I was like, no, I'll just go ahead and set my movie during the era. So I went ahead and just kind of shot it in the middle. I believe the shorts range from like 1896 until like 1914, I think. So I went ahead and just went 1903. And like all my other films I do, I always try to put it within the world of Copperville, the Copperville verse, if you will. So that was just kind of the basic idea, and I just kind of felt like the next logical step was, since I've already kind of did a snuff film before, when me and Simon did Unspeakable Acts, I'm like, well, I'll just kind of do the same thing, but we'll set it back a little bit. So the basic concept here was just this insane fucking dude who just, saw a movie, kind of does a Misery. He's Annie Wilkes in the theater, and he's calling bullshit on all these fucking shenanigans, all these bad cuts and edits, and he's like, you know what? I will make my own snuff film. So yeah, that's kind of the basic plot here. Right here, this little thing, literally, I had to crop this scene out because we did pretty good about trying to cover what we could. Now, we couldn't cover everything, so I knew ahead of time, like, you're going to see insulation and asbestos or whatever. That's not asbestos, but, insulation like that, vent work, all this kind of stuff, and I was like, okay, we clearly can't cover all that. We are no budget, by the way. But I did my best to cover all of the light fixtures. But somehow, and I don't know who dropped the ball on this one, I'll take full responsibility. Although I wasn't looking at the camera, but there was one literally right behind my head here, and so I tried to digitally take it out. I tried to blur it, but it became so ridiculous and messed up. So it just became like, you know what? We'll just cut it. We'll just crop this thing so it's kind of a little bit more zoomed in than I would have liked, but I think it works. And once again, unless if you's actually paying attention to that, you probably wouldn't notice. Back there we have October Drenth. She worked with me on Unspeakable Acts. And the funny thing is with this movie, I knew I was going to have a quick shot of nudity. And it is gratuitous. I won't lie about that. It is definitely gratuitous, but wanted it in my movie nonetheless. And so I went to her. Actually, I went to everybody, but I was like, listen, I need someone to do this thing. I was never going to ask her to do this role because at this point we've become pretty good friends, and I felt very awkward asking a friend to get naked for me in a movie. But she got kind of offended that I didn't ask her. And she told me at this point, like, I don't care what movie you do. I want to be in any of them. I don't care how small the role is, how big, whatever. Put me in a movie. So that's how she got in the film. But the other kind of crazy thing is, and you can't really tell here, but she's actually about 5 months pregnant at this point. Which we went through a great, pains of trying to make sure she was comfortable. So, underneath that hard-ass table, there is a comforter to try to, help her out there. I won't lie to you, the sick part of me was hoping she'd be 9 months pregnant just so we can actually have the huge baby belly in there. Because, what's sicker than that? This sick fuck gonna kill her and the baby. But she wasn't showing that much, so it was just like, okay, we won't even include that into that. But, so, October, if you're out there listening to this, thank you very much for this. You got me the shot I wanted, and I really appreciate that. Second ago, you saw my janky-ass homemade camera. When I was making this movie, I was watching a lot of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And what I love about those movies is those legit movies, they aren't winking and nodding to the crowd. They're trying to be legit with their janky ass, whatever. And so, literally, I want to take that spirit. I wanted to, try to make a serious homemade looking camera, but do it with, the products I have available. And so it turns out kind of janky, but I think that's what I really love about it. The music there was Josh Chaney, which I won't go into too much detail on that because we got that on the featurette, actually, so we'll go past that. Coming up here in a second, actually, you're going to see my two little cousins, Ethan and Haley. And how they got involved was Haley actually was upset that she was not in Unspeakable Acts, the movie that includes child murder and rape. She was mad that she wasn't a part of that, but I did cast two of my other cousins. I guess she was feeling a little left out, and so she came up to me and she was just like, listen, you do another movie I want to be in, and I was like, I'll tell you what, I promise you the next movie I do, I'll throw you in there. And I kind of already had the idea that people would be watching this years later after the events of the first Snuff film. But initially I had teenagers or young adults, college kids in mind. But whenever she said that, I was like, all right, I'll work you guys into it. So it was funnier. So I got her and I got Ethan. And Ethan's fucking facial expressions crack me up every time. So, yeah, they're both in that, and here we are. We're at the end already. Short commentary. What you're listening to right now is the song My First Snuff Film, which is performed by the TPS House Band, which is me, Josh Chaney, and Matt McDonald. Of course, Josh and Matt are from the band Thin Line, so really thank them for that. And I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up right here. A big thank you to everybody out there who helped me on this. Look through the credits. Seriously, every one of these guys, I could not have done it without them. It's a group effort, and we all came together. And once again, the fact that this was just my movie, it means a lot more to me because they, came together to help me out. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, till next time. All right, we're done, right? We can get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.